Hello, welcome to Chaos Talkover episode 283. If you're wondering why it took so long for me to do another one, it's because it took me a long time to do another one. But today, I'm here with a very special guest all the way from Norwegia, Mr. DaEvil1. Hello.
Hello, Chaos.
Um, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say today.
Yeah, it sounds good. I think this has been really productive.
Yeah, well, I was just kidding because I have a list of like a bunch of questions, and I'm gonna ask you like all of them.
Wait, I did not agree to this.
Well, it's too late now. It's recording, so there's nothing you can do.
You're right. I'm trapped. I have
Mr.
nowhere to
Evil
go.
One, we're gonna start at the very beginning.
Oh.
Please describe the circumstances of your birth.
I don't remember too much, but from what I've been told, it was pretty much like it always happens. There was like a lot of screaming and a lot of blood, and that was like the conception, obviously.
The magic of childbirth.
Exactly.
But yeah, starting at the beginning, slightly later than that beginning, not that beginning, a different beginning we're starting at. Bayern Munich, season one,
Oh yes.
ELTP champions. Your best ever season in terms of gasp. I checked. In your opinion, is season one Bayern the best ELTP team of all time?
I would like, from my experience, I would kind of say yes. Not necessarily like because of the individuals who were on that team, but just because of we had some of the most amazing team chemistry I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've heard about your mod mail that has lasted forever.
Yeah, we still have an ongoing mod mail from Stink, and like he just keeps posting, and it's actually kind of my fault because I kind of started that one, and he just followed suit because I'm such a role model, you know.
Yeah, I would agree that it's probably the best ELTP team of all time. Season two Rolling BC obviously was very good as well, but with season one in particular, because like Kohol, I don't want to say he drafted you all by a fluke, but no one knew how good everyone was going to be.
Yeah,
And
it
like
was definitely a case of where, I mean, there were a few people who kind of like already had some competitive experience from MLTP and so on, but
yeah,
most of us were just completely new to the whole thing.
like and then they all went like so many people went on to be like captains from that as well. There was you, Ron, Panda, Stink.
Uh, maybe not Stink, but yeah.
Not yet. Yeah, that leads into my next question. Season one Bayern Munich, probably we think the best LTP team of all time. I think they didn't. Oh, no, they didn't do the All Star thing, so they didn't play the winners of MLTP back then. But they probably would have won. But why did season two Ballin then do so badly after season one Ballin did so well?
Well, part of it was probably me being drafted first overall. That's not going to happen again. It was me and Coral, and like he asked me before if I was okay being drafted first, and I thought sure. Like, yeah, if I wanted to try something different, and we basically agreed that we wanted to kind of have more unproven talent and just kind of take it from there, and we did that. But essentially, like we had, for example, Paintball. He played defense in season one.
Right.
We had him on offense, and Steel Balls. He was on season one in Bayern Munich. He didn't he didn't play a lot of majors there, but he was ready to step up to majors in season two. And we also got Dodgeball, which was kind of risky because he's really good, but he did have some medical issues that we knew might be an issue. So essentially, what happened is we kind of did all right the first week or so, but after that, like 3 of our top 5 picks just kind of quit in the middle of the season. I almost forgot. Like our first draft after me was Forden, who also was he kind of broke into majors at the end of season one, so we kind of wanted to build him into an all-star player, which unfortunately never quite happened because he he did just cut down on activity eventually. But if he had kept going, he would have been one of the elite defenders in ELTP, in my opinion.
He was very good, and like you said, a lot of players quit there. So all the names you mentioned, I don't think any of them are still around.
I've seen paintball in some pubs like the last few months, but Steel Balls, he's basically not playing ELTP anymore, and Dodgeball, I haven't seen him in a while either.
Yeah.
I think he played for the Mario Flare, or like the race thing.
Oh, those flares. I try to avoid the flares now because I never get them, and it just haunts me. That one, I think it was Halloween, where you had to jump up loads, like it was like a platformer. Horrible. I could not. I was awful at that, like depressingly awful at that. But I kept going and kept failing, and it was just. It's kind of like my Type Pro career. Just deeply depressing.
Yeah.
You are in. Here's a fact for you. I think you are only the second player we've had on Talkover. I don't know why I said we. I've had on Talkover that has played any MLTP with the Dirty Yanks.
Yes.
So I wondered. The last person I talked to about this was Micro, and he's Canadian and he's nice, whereas you are not either of those things. So
I'm just Norwegian.
Do you think there's any significant differences between playing ELTP and then going over to MLTP and playing that?
I think there is a difference. Like in terms of just play style, it's not that different. Like what works well in ELTP works well in MLTP as well. Right. But in terms of like team culture and just like there's so much more people in MLTP than ELTP, so the landscape is a lot more cluttered, I guess, than here. Like everyone knows everyone in ELTP, but that's not how it works in MLTP.
And how do you think you could like rise above the clutteredness of it, or were you just like one of the people there?
At the beginning of it, I think I was kind of above the clutterness because I had just won region wars and been like gotten the MVP and stuff, so I was halfway famous, I guess, at that point. But that quickly changed with me playing the same season on Baller Munich and Evercapping God Poppers, and I ended up last in both ELTP and MLTP that season. So,
ouch.
Yeah, that was not a great season.
So, like, you say there's no significant difference. I used to have this theory, because whenever I needed a few caps in pubs, I just go over to Radius and play, because I always felt like the Americans were easy to juke. You don't think that's the case? You think that they're like just normal people who are as good as us, kind of?
Almost. One thing I have noticed is, well, I don't know like how much this applies to other people, but I know this applies to me, is that when I have a higher ping, I can juke better, which is kind of weird to me. But I don't think that has to do with skill level. I think it kind of has to do with you have to plan everything ahead and just trust your instincts more than like if you just react.
We're actually, you know how I was going through every season? Like I started with season 1 and then I moved on, like a very natural segue into season 2.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen because I've really nothing to ask you about season 3.
Okay.
You were captained by Mike C in Athletic Cap, and I understand how much. I mean, I don't want to talk about that, and I'm captained by Mike C in Athletic Cap. It's like, you know, World War One veterans. They wouldn't ever talk about World War One because it was just so horrible. They didn't want to like discuss it. So we're gonna move on.
Yeah, I agree completely.
To season 4, where you were captain of the most difficult team to pronounce, Panathinaikos. You see, I'm normally good at it. I'm normally the one correcting people. Panathinaikos, the team you captained.
Yes.
Were you happy with how the team did?
Apart from the one game we lost in the playoffs, I'm extremely happy with how it went. We did all right, like in the beginning of the season, but like in the last 10 games, we won 9 games until we met Roland BC in the quarterfinals. So I was really happy with the season. Only a little bit annoyed that we didn't manage to get the title.
I thought you did very well, yeah. I was surprised you lost the Roland BC when that game happened. I think I was watching it at the time. But considering how well Panathinaikos did, why didn't you then carry on captaining this season?
For a couple of reasons. I originally after season 3, I wasn't sure if I was gonna play season 4. I didn't really plan to sign up, to be honest. But Corhol came and asked me if I could be a captain in case they really desperately needed people, and I kind of reluctantly agreed. So that's how I became a captain, and it was a great experience, and I'm glad I accepted. But at the same time, it is a lot of work and a lot of stress. And one thing I really don't like is just deciding like who gets to play, who doesn't get to play, because it is heartbreaking when you have to sit someone on the bench and they can't play, even though you know they're good and they're doing their best to kind of do stuff. So I like much better just playing and letting other people make decisions. That's my perspective on that.
I agree. I don't know if I'd want to be a captain. I was a captain in 3.5, and that was a much smaller side, and I still didn't really like picking teams. And I've been minus captain a few times, and it's tough.
It really is.
Another similar question, because it's like a contradiction that I found, was like last season you did really well. You were like the third best OGASP in ELTP, and then in this draft, possibly because in the preview I said you were going to do super good and be like a most valuable player, you went for like, what was it, 12?
I went for 8.
8?
Yes.
Why?
I think it was a multitude of factors. Like, I mean, I did well in season 4, but from what I gather, like, a lot of people just kind of thought that Flick carried me. I mean, and it is true to some extent, because me and Flick, we worked really well together, and not having that partnership has definitely affected me getting less caps so far this season. But okay, 420 doing something. Okay, yeah, 421 shout out or something. I don't know what that means.
I'm not even sure what that means, and English is my first language.
Okay. Anyway, what I was talking about, yeah, me and Flick, we had a good partnership, and a lot of people just kind of figured that Flick carried me, which is at least in some part true. But another thing is just like when I got nominated, a lot of like the teams had their offenses settled, and like I think there were like 3 teams that didn't have it kind of settled, and that was like Dagenham and Wreckbridge, Roland BC, and Rangers. And Rangers already had picked up Deadman at that point, and I'm pretty sure Deadman is not someone who wanted to be on a team with me at that point, because we had somewhat of a public feud or something. I know. It is really dramatic, or however you pronounce that.
So it was basically you think there were only 2 teams that were ever going to get you.
Yeah, and Hypo said something. Oh yeah. Also, Fredball. They also lacked an attacker. But from what I heard, I'm not sure if I was the first choice, but they figured I'd be too expensive anyway. Which I turned out I wasn't. And Dagenham, Hypnome said he considered me, but his first choice was Gofia, I think it was.
Right, yeah, Gofia.
Yeah, so that kind of just left Rolling BC going for me. So I think the combination of people thinking I was better with Flick than without, and just being nominated at the fortunate or unfortunate point in the auction meant that I went for lower than some might expect.
But you didn't veto any of the teams?
What was that?
You didn't veto any of the teams? Like, you didn't tell the commission? You didn't. And you ended up with Flick Yoli anyway, didn't you? Isn't he on your team?
Yep, he's playing defense this season.
So that must be horrible, because you're so close to a guy who, like, you have a solid chemistry with on O, but he's playing defense.
I don't mind it personally because I like building chemistry with new players every season. Like if you notice, like the last couple of results, we've done really well the last 4 games so far. We won 4 games in a row for majors, and we were like pretty much secured playoff spot now. Whereas just 2 weeks ago we were in a non-playoff spot. So I think it's part of it is just like I like building chemistry, and when the season starts getting to a close, I'll naturally get better because I understand my partner better than before. So like, as long as the partner knows what they're doing, hopefully I'll be able to rebuild that kind of chemistry anyway.
So, like you said, Roman BC have done really well in the past couple of games, but when they got drafted, everyone was saying how overpowered their team was. Your
Well,
team was.
some people were, but some people said we were overrated, and I think it's true that we like if you look at minors, we're pretty much looking to win minors, and in the majors we're doing at least all right, depending on how it goes in the next 2 weeks. But so we definitely have a like strong overall team, but many people suggested we didn't really have like that standout star player, kind of like Fat or Deadman, to kind of carry us. So we'll see if we're able to kind of have someone fill that role when it comes to playoffs.
Where did you think you were going to be after the draft? Where do you think Roman BC were going to finish?
I honestly wasn't sure because I knew Flick was going to be solid on D, but it completely depends on like both the partnership he was able to kind of forge with Nihilus, and also like what happened on offense. And offense, we had me, Jefta, or Magic Pigeon, who can all play majors and all have this season. So like I didn't really know how like it looked in terms of what we were going to do on offense. But I knew that we had like players who would be able to perform well if we got good partnerships going, and I feel like we're at that stage now.
After the draft, when I looked at the teams, I thought that Athletic Camp were going to win the league.
Yeah, I mean you can still get points.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think playoffs. We were talking about it the other day. I think playoffs are still mathematically possible. Maybe.
maybe.
I don't try and count myself because I can't do maths, but according to other people, they're possible.
Yeah, the math people.
Yeah, the math people.
Don't question the math people. Is what I say.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about maths with them. So if they say something with numbers in it, you just agree with them.
Exactly. It's
Speaking of changes in captaincy, this season you had a change of captaincy.
Yes, we did.
Under somewhat dramatic circumstances, the hammer of Mike C was brought down, and Orb was removed as captain and replaced with your dude Flick Yoli. Firstly, were you ever in contention to take over Roland BC?
Yeah, I was, and I basically told him that I would rather not if we had someone else who could take the mantle. Because, as I said, it's just I at that point I wouldn't mind like the extra time it would take because it wouldn't be that much different. But I just don't want to make the calls of who's playing and who's not. It just stresses me out.
Have things been different under Flick than they have under Orb, or has there been like a sense of continuity when he took over?
Yes, I guess it's there's definitely been a sense of continuity, but at the same time, Flick is a little bit different in how he chooses the teams compared to Orb, and he also communicates more strongly than Orb does, both like during the game and in terms of like just making captaining decisions. But I mean, Orb is still here, and we kind of have like all the players except Woblet who disappeared because of that whole thing, and it's we just have like pretty much the same team with a different captain. So we have like the continuity, but we also have a difference in leadership. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So it hasn't. I mean, you're doing very well at the moment, so it kind of disrupted things too much.
Yeah.
How's Orb taking it?
I don't know how much detail I should go into about that, but I do know he was pretty disappointed when it happened. So I mean, obviously he didn't agree with the decision, but at the same time, he's shown up to practice and he's adjusted well to just being a player instead of a captain. So even though he's disappointed with the decision, he's shown that like he can deal with it and just be a player when the team needs him to.
Must be so weird for all because he's always been a captain since season 1.
Yeah, this is the first time he's not a captain.
Yeah, it must be weird, like not being able to give orders to people now.
I'm sure.
Carry on. Sorry.
I was just gonna make like a Nazi joke or something.
No, go for it. That's funny. Go.
Nah, I'm gonna hold back because he's. I don't know. I have no idea how Estonia, what happened to them during World War II, but I don't want to step on any toes.
Probably the Soviets.
Probably. Yeah. I guess it's okay to make Hitler jokes, but whatever. I think I lost it anyway.
Yeah. The moment has passed.
Yeah, it is past. Yes.
As I was going to ask, who's the best captain that you've played under?
I've liked all of my captains, to be honest. I don't want to say a favorite because just like choosing who you're playing against is who you're playing like when you're a captain and choosing your best captain is just gonna hurt a lot of feelings. But I will say I've enjoyed all of them, and Coral, he was really good in terms of just looking at what's good for the team. Like Yoli, he's really good in terms of just communicating clearly and kind of stating what he wants and what he expects and what we're supposed to do and just going through maps and so on. And Mikesy, he was really good in just being really flexible, kind of like Coral, where he was always looking out for the team's best and just looking to not put himself above the team, but also being a good captain and going through maps and just kind of teaching everyone and showing them what he expects and what we're supposed to do. And I've been a really great captain, obviously.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that goes without saying. I was obviously the best captain I've been under.
You didn't draft me, though.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to, actually, but we were gone. I didn't realize the rule about the draft picks, how it would affect things. So I kind of like I didn't get to choose like a minors player for like the first 20 picks or something, and by that point, a lot of people were gone, unfortunately.
Gutted.
And also Orb, I guess it's the last one I didn't mention. He's also been a good captain who is kind of mysterious because he tends to kind of not he doesn't talk a lot, so you don't get as involved in decisions as possible, but he makes good decisions and he always looks to win. Like that is his. I think season 3 really showed that even though Fat had a lot to do with them winning, it was pretty clear that Orb was willing to kind of just do everything to get the victory at the point, and he showed that in this season as well. I meant season 4 when they won the ELTP, obviously.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's not human, I think he is a machine.
It is very possible.
Like, he's only got a set amount of phrases that he can say, which is why he doesn't talk much.
Yes.
He's got a soundboard.
I think you might be onto something.
So, this season you've had a wide array of potential offensive partners, like you said, or Biafra, Magic Pigeon. Not necessarily this season, but who are some of your favorite players to play offense with, apart from Deadman?
Apart from Deadman, that's going to be really tricky, but I would have to say I really enjoyed playing with both Flick and Pooh because they're some like any LTP, they're just someone who kind of thinks similar to me, and they have a really good understanding of the game that just helps you get a good thing going. Like once you kind of get it, you're gonna play really well with both of them. And also want to shout out in case he listens to this, but probably not since he quit. But when I played MLTP, I played offense with Noblord, who went on to win 2 Super
I
Bowls
love
after
him.
that. Yeah, he is awesome.
Yeah,
And
he was on my minors in season 3. What a man.
oh, nice. Yeah, he was just really cool to play with because we had some troubles on that team. We couldn't really get practices going and so on, but he would always be willing to kind of just have us two practice and get some chemistry going. And even though we did pretty badly that season, we managed to get quite a few caps at least. So I think that at least vindicated us a little bit. Obviously, until he started winning Super Bowls by himself.
All the MLT players when they come over to ELTP, they end up breaking my heart because they only ever stick around for like one season, and they're all great. And I just get emotional when they leave. Novel's one, Panaux was another, and Cynical, who all went on to like bigger things in MLTP. But I just I miss them so much. I might have to go play in America just so I can see these people.
Yeah, it is a really cool experience to play because it is a slightly different culture, but there's still a lot of cool people that you can get to hang with and get to know when you're playing MLTP.
But the games are at like 4 a.m. aren't they?
I just forgot. I forgot one captain I didn't mention. Sorry. I need to mention that now. Sorry, but
okay, go for it.
Yes, special shout out to Exile as well, who just like Orb is willing to go above and beyond and doctor stats and everything just to get the win. He was a good captain as well when I played minors in season 6 MLTP. So, and we had a really fun time on that team. But yeah, I think that's all the captains I had in MLTP and ELTP.
I might have to put this not just on the ELTP subreddit, but the Tagpro subreddit as well.
Maybe.
Then American people can like it, and I can further my brand.
And we can get to say stuff like "fuck Exile."
Yeah. I don't know if I know him. He signed up for ELTP at some point. He might have been on the same team as me, but he didn't show up. So yeah, I don't like him either.
He played in season 4, and I was able to draft him. He showed up for like one game, I think, and that's about it. So
was he one of the ones that was doing botting and stuff?
Doing what?
Doing the bot stuff. Like last season, there was.
Oh no. That wasn't him. That was Grief Seeds and Checkmate and one other guy. I'm not sure who he was. Ball something. But he did have controversies last season because there was he was supposed to deliver some stats to from some majors game he played, and I'm not even gonna try to play any blame games, but somehow along the road, Exile got like 2 or 3 extra caps according to the stats. It didn't affect like the score of the game, but just his personal stats. And he got like an official censure from MLTP, which just it's basically just saying you better be on your best behavior, but nothing actually happened to me. Didn't get suspended or his captainship removed or anything. And a lot of people were mad about that. So just after that, the whole botting thing happened, and all of a sudden they're banning people from life from Tag Pro. So
the absolute scenes of drama in MLTP. Yes. Do you think there's more drama in MLTP or ELTP?
I think there's more quantity of drama in MLTP, but I don't want to say quality, but like just the gravity of the drama in ELTP is just so high.
It takes a while to appear, but when it does, everyone knows about it.
It is beautiful and disgusting at the same time.
It comes with the close-knit community, like you were saying. Everyone knows each other, so when it kicks off, everyone has an opinion, and it's wonderful to watch.
Exactly.
I buy a bag of popcorn, and it's my favorite thing. Like the other week with the Berlin Ball thing, we had like 3 threads of drama, and I'm just sat there in a mumble channel with Rookie, and we're just going over it, and it's just we're like it's more entertaining than watching games sometimes.
it It kind of is. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like when drama hits ELTP, I tend to refresh ELTP more than usual just to see if anything new's happened.
And there's so much karma to be exploited in the comments.
Exactly.
I think I have a problem with karma.
The fun thing is, like, in MLTP, whenever there's drama, there's this guy named Felix, and he'll always try to make the post that gets him gold, and he's got gilded, like, I don't know, 6 times or something from Tag Pro Drama. Where he's just made... He doesn't even care about, like, the drama, he just cares about getting gold. It's hilarious.
Peter Baelish has, like, a serious problem with... why does he have so much gold? Because he gives out so much gold to everyone over, like, really little things, you know?
I have no idea. I can just assume he bought, like, a bunch of gold at one point, and he's just trying to get rid of it. I mean, but then, it doesn't really cost that much, like... And, I mean, to be honest, like, if I see, like, a post that's gilded, I'll be like, oh, that person must be right. I should agree with this person. So, like, if I had, like, an agenda and I wanted people to kind of think the way I did, I would just, like, either gild myself or other posts. It costs, like, $3 or something. So, I mean, for, like, I could, I mean, for less than 100 of my salary, I could, like, sway the opinions of dozens of people. So,
wow,
exactly.
you are definitely corrupt, and I won't vote for you for commissioner.
It's a good thing I'm not running.
Yeah,
but I thank you for your support or lack of thereof.
I got gilded once. It was for the first episode of Chaos Talkover, and I think it was probably Peter Baelish.
Nice.
So he's my friend. I have a question.
Okay.
Another question. It has nothing to do with Tag Pro. It's about life in your country, Norwegia. Do you people actually like John Arne Riise?
We have, I wouldn't say love-hate relationship with him, but kind of less-hate relationship with him, because I personally almost kind of like him because he did play from my favorite Premier League club for a long time until he started just scoring own goals for no reason.
He does do that. It was great.
Yeah, he does do that. And he had like one real... oh no, not him. I'm thinking of Traore. He had like the perfect, like, where he just kind of slips it in behind into his own goal. But, you know, Riise had like... he just kind of just shoots in that for no reason. But anyway, how we feel about him, it's just... I don't know, did you guys hear about like the celebrity scandal he had here a couple of years back, where he mass texted like a bunch of celebrities to ask for their numbers?
No.
So basically he got like pretty much every girl celebrity in the country. He got all of their numbers, and he just kind of he made one standard text and he texted it to all of them, like saying, "Hi, you're gorgeous. I've seen you, blah blah blah," and just like, "Do you want to go out someday?" or something. And it got national attention like for like weeks. It was hilarious.
John Arne Riise, what a player!
Yeah, and what a person. But he's just that kind of stubborn kind of guy that does things his own way. Sometimes it's kind of horrific, but when he does it on a football field, it can be beautiful. So
your favorite Norwegian team would be Mold or Lillestrøm? I forget who he played for.
No. So he originally played for Ålesund, I think. But I'm not sure if he even. Team. That's not my team now. But he played for Liverpool. That's my EPL team. But yeah.
Right. So you're a Liverpool fan rather than a weird Norwegian team fan.
Well, I am a Norwegian team fan as well, which is Brann. SK right. Brann. They're a horrific club, and they're doing everything they can to demolish the club. But anyway, in terms of John Arne Riise, I don't think he even played in like the Norwegian Premier Division. He just immediately went to Monaco or something, because his mother is like this badass agent or something that just gets her kids into foreign clubs.
I nearly made a fool of myself a few minutes ago. I'm going to say it anyway. When you were
Okay.
talking about your favorite club, I was going to say, well, my favorite Norwegian team is FC Midtjylland, but they're actually Danish. Um, so I'm just going to say I'm more of a Tromso guy.
Okay.
I'm very
That's fair enough.
attached to my Scandinavian teams. I have a favorite Swedish team and a favorite
Ooh.
Danish team, but then with Norway, I don't really. But Tromso is probably my favorite team because Chelsea beat them in like the 90s,
Ah.
which I'm
Yeah.
sure they remember.
Well, I mean, every time a Norwegian team plays against an EPL club, it's something that you like cherish for years. And I'm not even being sarcastic or anything. It really is like we really. It's connected with the fact that like I guess back in like the 60s and 70s, we didn't really have a professional football league, so everyone who wanted to watch proper football, like the only option was to watch Premier League football every Saturday. So that's kind of what we grew up with, and everyone's kind of like just like Premier League. That's the dream for everyone. So
I actually live near Liverpool.
oh, nice.
I was wondering, are you aware of like the stereotype that the majority of Liverpool fans are from Oslo?
I'm not aware of that at all. No.
Because that's something we always say to Liverpool fans. Like, I knew this Liverpool fan who we always said was from Oslo because banter.
Okay.
Yeah, and you
I
actually
mean,
are a
not
Liverpool fan from Norway.
yeah, not Oslo, but close enough.
I didn't
But
realize there was
I guess
anything.
like half the population lives in Oslo, so it kind of
Yeah.
makes sense.
Wow. You are the stereotype.
We are the living, breathing stereotype.
Yeah,
You're
that
right.
must be weird.
It is.
It's like how like Strategio is actually an alcoholic, so he lives the stereotype of the drunken Irishman.
Yeah, it's. I feel like I've been written by a writer with like a really poor sense of originality. So I'm just living in a really bad novel at this point.
Another thing, speaking of Norwegian football, right? Martin Odegaard at Real Madrid,
Oh yes.
isn't he annoying?
I don't know. I haven't checked like paid much attention, but he might be. But I mean, like he's 15 years old, and 15-year-old people are annoying, I
Yeah,
guess.
and he's already come on for Real Madrid, and he refuses to train with the C team, even though he's playing for the C team. And Zinedine Zidane always drops him, and he's really good for my Juventus side on Football Manager, though. So there is that.
That's nice. I mean, he is at this point he's like a national treasure. It doesn't even matter how it works out on Real Madrid. Just the fact that he's Norwegian that's been on Real Madrid and actually been on the field for them, like we're basically just worshiping him at this point. Which
Yeah, I know the feeling. We've got Gareth Bale, so
yeah, I can't imagine that being healthy for anyone, though.
no, not at his age, especially.
Exactly. I mean, I
He's,
think part of that happened with Jon Risa, which is part of why he's kind of screwed up as well.
you guys have got to stop worshipping these people. They're just ordinary folk like you and me. Do you ever get
Yeah,
worshipped for being probably the best Norwegian player, Mind Switch excluded, in ELTP?
you should probably exclude Europe as well. But no, there's not been a lot of like region-specific worship of me.
It's more of a
Generally,
global phenomenon.
no, not that I'm noticing. Generally, I mean, I'm kind of famous for making bad maps and for being washed up. That's kind of my claim to fame at this point.
Well, the second one, yes, but I'm not aware of any maps you've made. Which maps are yours?
That's been in rotation as Grail of Speed,
I love Grail of Speed. Oh
Rocket
wait,
Balls.
no, I don't. No, I don't. I love Super Duper Stamp. Grail of Speed is the worst thing ever. Why would you make that?
I, I was young and dumb. I don't know. It's at this point, I think it's like a bad map, but a lot of people kind of like it, which I think is
No.
just like you're getting used to being beaten by your dad or something, and you just like you mistake that for love.
Stockholm Syndrome, except it's Oslo Syndrome.
Pretty much, yeah.
Grail of Speed is a crime against nature.
Hmm. I'm not even gonna deny that.
I know I can't. I don't. I didn't know there was a creator of that. I thought it was just Satan. I don't.
It was just spawned by the
Yeah.
darkness.
I don't. I don't think I can carry on. I think we're gonna have to wrap things up now because that's just a very depressing revelation.
I think that's a very fair point.
I mean, like, I think I'd tell you to go upstairs and like take a bath or something, but you are already, as we've established, very washed.
Yes,
Um.
exactly.
So yeah, thanks for being here. I'm gonna go do practice. You're gonna do practice, and we'll never see each other again. We've never even been on the same team, man.
Never been on the same team. You're right.
It's like
We all it almost happened actually in season 1, where but you drafted some weird guy who never showed up. But basically in season 1, I signed up as a free agent the first week, and you Liverpool had drafted this person who asked to not be in the draft anymore. So you automatically got like the first free agent draft pick, and you wasted it on someone else who never showed up or something. And Bournemouth got me.
Yeah, Leroy, what a captain! That is
Yeah,
just that
what
is
a
the most
legend.
livable thing I've ever heard in my life. But yeah, apart from that, like not being on the same team, it is almost like one of us is fixing the drafts to make sure we end up on separate teams.
I mean, at this point, there's just we need balance in the ELTP. I just
If
don't
we
think
were on the same team, right, we just walk all the competition. So in the spirit of fairness, it's probably best that we're not on the same team.
that is most clearly the case. I mean, I can't really think of any other explanation at this point.
You know, the historical chemistry between Wales and Norway.
Yeah, there's just no comparison to those two.
Anyway, it was very nice having you. It was very
Thank you.
nice doing this because I haven't done it in ages. Like 5 people turned me down. I'm not going to say that you're like my sixth choice, but 5 people turned me down, DaEvil1.
Wait, who are these 5 people? They need to be named and shamed.
Maybe it wasn't 5, but Sheldon turned me down.
God damn it.
What's his face? JJ Poole, I don't think ever replied to me. The other guy, whose name is escaping me, Imperious, he turned me down.
What is wrong with these people?
I'm pretty sure Sam turned me down, which was humiliating because I didn't even want him in the first place.
Isn't
Maybe
he
I
like
forgot.
12 years old or something?
Yeah, maybe I forgot to ask Sam.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ask him. But yeah, thank you for. I've already said thank you like 3 times. Bye.
Oh, you're welcome. I like to grace people with my presence.
I used to have. Oh yeah, no, yeah. I don't know if you've watched this before, but I used to ask people to come up with like a catchphrase to end the show.
Yeah, I think I listened to all your shows actually.
Oh really?
Yes.
Are you actually prepared with a catchphrase of your own?
I am not, but I can come up with one if you want
All right.
to.
Yeah.
All right. This is putting a lot of pressure on
Do you want me to
but...
make clock noises so it seems like a countdown?
Yeah. Oh, maybe you can make like drum noises or something.
I don't know if the microphone will pick it up. Probably not. No, I was drumming then.
It picked it up.
Really?
Yes, it did.
I didn't know the microphone extended that far. Huh.
It's all sound waves. They propagate.
Wow.
All right. Here it comes. Suck it, Mike C.
I like it.
Me too.
So yeah. Goodbye. Suck your Mike C. The end.